What is up, Internet Land? Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review. Today, the figure we're looking at is the SND The One. There you go. And, spoiler alert, the figure is really good. The posability is good. The sculpt is good. It looks really nice. The alt mode looks really good. Nice solid, alt mode and whatnot. Transformation sucks. Like, just absolutely sucks. Someone at SND. So, I understand that they made a couple kits for, like, the Combiner Wars Optimus Prime figures. They've got at least 3 that I know of. They had a regular Optimus one to make it more like an IDW style. And then they kind of tweaked that to make a Nova Prime kit for the Battle Core Optimus. And then there was a Nemesis version for some sort of a Dakar exclusive version of the worst Optimus Prime figure we've gotten in the main line. I said it. But anyhow, as far as I understand, though, this is SND's first full figure, so there's some good things about it, but all in all, I'm going to say that they need to put in a little bit more work. And let's talk about this. So, yeah, real quick, there's basically every Transformer has got 3 parts to it. Every, like transforming Transformer has got 3 parts to it, which is the robot mode, the vehicle mode, and the transformation. And there's some sort of a, give and take balance between the 3. And the way that balance works out, if you have a really specific and really good looking robot mode and a really good looking alt mode, generally you'll find that the transformation sucks. They can alleviate how bad that transformation is by making one or more of the modes like a little worse. But yeah, generally, if you've got something with a good looking alt mode and robot mode, the transformation sucks. Fans Toys does it, and now SND does it. So, but gosh, that is a handsome looking Prime. The proportions I think are pretty good. It's a little a little wide in the shoulders, a little narrow in the waist. Like really kibble free. He's just got this, like, it just looks good. Could probably do with a little bit of panel lining, but that's probably just the Gundam model builder in me. Anytime I see a panel line, I'm just like, it's time for the ink. But yeah, let's get into this because the transformation is going to take up all of your time. So first and foremost, he comes with accessories. He's got a gun. This is just a little gun. I think it's maybe a little too little, if you ask me. I would not have been disappointed to see it be bigger, I guess is what I'm getting at. And to throw it in his hand, you just kind of open it up. There's a Masterpiece style tab here and a slot in the palm. You just slide it into that slot. Slide it into the slot. Slide. Come on. Slide it into the slot. There we go. Close his fingers around it, and there he is holding his gun, and it looks like a gun that he is holding in his hand. Don't know what else to say. He also comes with a pair of swords molded in a translucent orange plastic. Kind of an interesting choice of design here. They've got like some sort of a plate with like a bolt pattern on it. But like they're molded in clear orange like they're supposed to be energon, so I don't know. But those will just fit into little slots that are on the inside of his armor. And they look pretty good too. Ooh, that hasn't happened to me before. It was easy to undo. Yeah, they look pretty good too. And then he also comes with a bunch of alternate hands. He comes with a pair of closed fists that look very good, but you cannot use these for transformation, which is a little bit of a bummer. He comes with a pair of open hands, which also look very good. And he comes with a pair of command hands for pointing at things and saying that's what he wants off the McDonald's menu. And then last but not least, maybe least, he comes with a little clip that kind of clips into this section up here in his taint. And this looks like about a 5mm connector here, so it will probably connect to like a Gundam action base stand and allow you to have some flying poses for your Optimus Prime, if that's something that your little heart requires. But let's get into articulation real quick. Oh, one last accessory comes with. If you open up his chest like so, and you open this up like so, and then you open this up like so, he has a little die cast matrix in there. Not painted at all, which is a little bit of a bummer. I also can't seem to get it to come out. I have tried all sorts of things. I have tried tweezers. I have tried pliers. I have tried little pry bars. I can't seem to get it to come out. Pretty certain it does come out, but I haven't been able to do it. So I'm not really concerned about that because there's nothing on it to see. It's not even painted. So get this all tabbed back into place. So let's talk about his articulation, starting with that head and working our way down. So his head is on a hinge. It looks up and down. And then his hinge is on a hinge that allows him to look up a little bit more. And then it rotates. There you go. His arm will go all the way around, come out for over a full tree pose. He does have a transformation joint here. If you pull his leg, his upper body leg, if you pull his arm forward, you can disconnect to this transformation joint and kind of fake a butterfly joint, but it's not designed to be a joint, and you get some weird stuff going on then, so use at your own peril, I guess. He comes with an upper bicep swivel. He comes with a double jointed elbow for the full range. His little wheel kibble likes to sit with his arm. He's got opening hands. These are his default hands. He comes with these out of the package, and he's had these on for the full review so far, of course. Just taking them off, by the way, it's just a simple peg. You slide that off, slide another hand on. And that's all that there is to that. Due to his transformation, you can get a little bit of in and out. And it actually works pretty good as a posability joint, especially you've got the fist and you can just be like that. And it makes him look a little bit more aggressive without, He's got a waist joint, which is pretty good, though. You'll depending on how exactly these skirt armors are positioned, you might run into a little bit of a collision, but you just wiggle it out of the way, and it works. He also has a little bit of an ab crunch, and I am losing parts of this transformation. These tabs, these parts here, clip into that little matrix chamber, and I am just having just butt of a time getting that to stay clipped in. Maybe they'll stay, or maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll have to see. This is an adventure that we'll have to take together. But yeah, he does have a little bit of an ab crunch, just not much of one, and it doesn't really want to stay. It doesn't really do anything, but it's there and looks cool. It actually looks cooler when we get it transformed up. There's a little bit of interesting detail in there. His front skirt armors kind of get sucked in like so, so his leg will go that far forward and that far back and go out for about 90% of the Van Dam. He also has a little joint here on the front of his thigh, allowing him to kick super forward. So that's nice, especially good for like one knee crouching poses. Really good stuff there. He's got a thigh swivel here. He's got a double jointed knee, though. This futzing with this knee tends to pop the kneecap panel out, by the way, which is a bit annoying. But anyhow, without utilizing that upper joint here, like that's how much bend you get, and that's not bad at all. If we sit here and finicky that one in there, it's a little bit more, not a whole lot more, but a little bit more. So keep that in mind, that you can use the full double joint knee, but you gotta fight it. You have to go 2 rounds with it at least. He's got some ankle articulation where it kind of moves in and out just a smidge, not much, but a little bit. It also kind of moves up and down, not much, but a little bit. And you can get some toe joint out of here. And then he's got a tip toe joint, which, I mean, is basically useless. Let's be honest. But it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, there he is in his robot mode. Really good looking robot mode. Good posability. A lot of character when you pose him. He looks great. If you get this figure, just keep him in robot mode. He looks great. All right, that's the end of the review. Thanks, guys. Now, I guess I do got to transform this thing. The problem is that this is not a big figure. This is a, where's a scale comparator? Here. He's a Voyager-sized Optimus Prime figure. And so, like, this is a good third-party kit that will, or a good third-party figure that will scale with your Chug figures, and we haven't really got a whole lot of that since Mastermind Creations decided to focus on Ocular Max and start making Masterpiece figures. So it's nice that we're getting Chug third-party again. However, they compressed a Masterpiece transformation into this figure, and first of all, I think that if they wanted that kind of transformation, they should have gone with a bigger figure. This was like 70 or 80 bucks, but like if they had made him leader class, he would have been like 100 to 110. So, like, it wouldn't have been difficult. They would have still sold a bunch of figures. They would have still, you know, I don't know. But if they were going to go with this size of figure, they should have really focused on minimizing the transformation. You know, make a few sacrifices to the alt mode and, you know, free up some of the engineering to make the transformation a bit better. But anyhow, let's get started on this transformation. Everybody wish me luck. We're 14 and a half minutes into this, and it's probably going to be another half an hour to transform this. I'll do my best to be quick about it. So what we want to do is we want to start by just opening everything up. So we're going to open up the chest. We're going to open up this panel here. We're going to open up this panel here. We're going to pull on this little wind vane here to, oof. By the way, these panels are glued on, and on my copy, they have come unglued. And one of these days, I need to go in there with some, you can see that's just like CA glue residue. I need to go in there with some CA glue and put it back on, but it clips on and it hardly ever comes off except for when I'm transforming it. So you want to pull this off. You want to pull this section out. Go ahead and disconnect these arms while we're at it. For each arm, you want to rotate the palm so the back of the hand is like so. You want to bring this up and in, tuck it in, and it just hides in there. This guy opens up, and then the hand rotates. You got to make sure the thumb gets put away. The hand rotates in, and then that closes. And we'll do the same with the other side here. Bring this up, rotate this, make sure the thumb is tucked away, rotate that in, fold that in, close that up. You can take these panels and disconnect them from here. Oh, actually, before we get into that, you want to take these smokestacks and wiggle them up a little bit, and then this whole shoulder will shift down just a smidge. And then you can take this panel and disconnect that and swing that around to the front of the arm, and it kind of stays there for the moment. And we'll do the same with the other side. So swing this up, shift this down, disconnect this panel, swing that around to the front, and yeah, there we go. Now, next part we want to do is tackle this midsection here, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to disconnect these tabs here. There are a couple tabs. You can see one right here on the back, and they like to come undone, but they need to be done to get this torso to really fit together solidly, and they're just kind of being a jerk. But anyhow, and for this section here, I haven't figured out the best strategy for taking care of it, because what you want to do is you want to disconnect these wheels. You basically only want to open up his torso like so, and just yanking on them doesn't do it. But there's these little tabs down at the base that plug into the central support strut, and you kind of need to get those to disconnect before this can go. And really what you can do is just take this whole thing and grab it and yank on it, and I don't like this at all. And what I hate most about it is that it's so damn effective. But like, I want to have an easier way to do that. I feel like that was a tab that they could have toleranced a bit better. There's a lot of parts on this figure that I feel like they could have toleranced a bit better. Take these panels here and fold them in. You want to take these windshields and square them up. And then you want to make sure that your head is up forward when you start working the shoulders into the back. And so you're going to be turning this at the bicep, and you're going to bend it at the upper elbow joint like so, and it's going to go like that. And then in here you'll see this little strut part here. You want to collapse this down so that this little peg, you can see this tab hanging out on the side of that. There's one on the other side as well. You want that tab to be facing straight up and down, and this slides back, like so. And now what you want to do is we're going to disconnect this and kind of hang this out a little bit. And now this is going to tuck in. This slot is going to plug into that tab right there. And it is a difficult thing to do. And it would just be hilarious if I had the easiest time ever in my life just now as I talk about how difficult it is. Well, we have already reached the point where it's not hilarious. So hilarity did not ensue. All right, so what we want to do, there's these little tabs on the side of his arm. They need to tuck up underneath that panel there. And this back of the, why did that do that? This back of the arm, of course, needs to be flush with that, so this is all presenting like a big red panel. And we're going to leave this flap up for now. And there's one arm put home. Let's do the other arm real quick. So we're going to bring this up on that second joint. Make sure we open up this joint here. Just hang that out a little bit. This panel is going to go to home back here. Oh, this little faux wheel tried to poke out a little bit. And then we're just going to tuck this under here. Make sure it plugs in properly. Did I get, well, I got that tab to go in. Ish. There we go. That's the ticket. Alrighty. Now, there are little tabs on this gray part that's on the inside of this wheel well. By the way, we want to pull the wheels actually out. There are little tabs in there, which I'm not going to be able to show you a single one because it's all dark inside the little tiny hollow of the Optimus. The tabs do not go into slots. There are just like little grooves, and you kind of hang them out, and then they kind of sit there-ish. And that's all that they do. That's kind of a pain in the ass. But when you got that roughly squared away, this panel can come down, and then you've got two tabs here on the front that will plug in. And this is a point where I want to kind of zoom in and show you like stress marks. And you know, I got to be honest with you, stress marks on a third-party figure feels like such a rookie move. And I think that this might have something to do with the fact that this is their first full figure. And, you know, maybe they haven't got it all figured out yet or whatnot. I don't know. But this isn't their first thing that they've made. Like, they should have already figured out how to tolerance things properly. We shouldn't be dealing with stress marks. This part here folds in. The head rotates 180 degrees and folds in. And then you're going to straighten out this wind vane. And then the head is going to pop into this hollow here. And then you're just going to close up. There's little tabs here, these 3 tabs. You want to do the center one first, and then the other two will follow. And this is actually going much smoother than the last time I filmed this whole effing review. It ended up being an hour long, and nobody wants to see that. Which is why I'm redoing the whole flipping review just for you guys. So now what we want to do is, we're actually going to fold these panels down and slide them in. Because we no longer need these to sit out and give us space to work. But we still do need these ones to sit out and give us space to work. Now what we're going to do is we are going to slide his butt flap up. Well, we're going to disconnect his side flaps and then slide this whole butt flap up. And then these little guys will fold in like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the legs for a bit because there's nothing left to focus on except the legs. The legs kind of suck, by the way. I know that I've said that this transformation kind of sucks, but the legs have some really sucky parts that kind of suck. And we're going to work through this. Everybody be strong, be brave. We can do this. You're going to start by taking this panel here on the back of the leg, foot, and bring this out and out like so. You're going to take this panel here and disconnect it. It's kind of got a tab in a slot here and a tab in a slot here, and just get that up and out of the way. We want to take this panel here, this white panel here, pull this out, and then you can yank on that. You'll see that there's kind of like a double hinge here. Yank on that to pull that down. And the whole shin piece, by the way, comes with that. And if you're lucky, that tab is going to untab itself. Oh, hey, I forgot a critical step first. You want to open up this armor on the front of the leg and then bring the kneecap up and fish it in like so, and then close it. You can still use this lower knee joint, but that will effectively immobilize the upper knee joint. And we'll do the same for the other side. While we're thinking about it, we'll do it when we get to the other leg. Okay, so if you're lucky, this tab right here is going to come undone for you. I lucked out this time. I really did. So that will allow this to slide back and forth a little bit, and you can bring this out, and then this part here will come out, rotate 90 degrees, come around, and then rotate back 90 degrees. And that's how it's going to go. And with that more or less out of the way, then we can take this guy and yank this down as far as it will go. Not enough to actually clear this panel here that it's supposed to get out of the way for, but enough to kind of pretend, and then you can like squish it past the tire. Like they tolerance this so that it works if there's no rubber tire. But somebody forgot. Somebody forgot that there puts rubber on this thing. And so you have to like squeeze that panel past the tires, and it sucks. Again, they needed more time, I think, to tolerance this whole thing a bit better. This blue panel will fold in, and then you'll bring this back up, fold it flush, fold this little white panel in, and that one's that. And now what we're going to do is make sure the leg is all the way straight. You want to take his toe and bend this up. Well, this one here is also on a sliding joint, so you'll slide that out. Take the toe and bend that up. And then you can bend this part down like so. That'll fit kind of over the toe. And then this is going to double joint back up to where we started. But now this shin is on the back of the leg, not the front of the leg. And this foot is on a sliding hinge, a sliding pin here. I see that. It slides back and forth. You want to make sure that it's slid all the way up this way, which is, these are your tires here, so this is towards the top of the truck. And then that will allow this to kind of hang out in there. And then you can kind of tab this section into there. There's actually a tab in here that plugs into a slot, but it doesn't really want to plug into it super well. But it's a thing that you can do if you wanna. And that is basically one leg. Whoops, let's take this little blue panel here and fold that down. That is basically one leg all done. So now let's get to the other leg real quick. So bend the knee, pop this panel, bring the kneecap up and fish it straight in. Close that, straighten the leg. Now, disconnect this panel right here. Open up this white panel here, bring this down, and I'm not lucky on this one, so I gotta kind of wiggle things free. Bring this down, and there's a tab right in the inside of this section here, and it's a pain in the ass. Oh, hey, it just came undone. That was not a pain in the ass at all. Usually my luck goes the other way when it comes to doing this stuff on camera. Alright, so now with this disconnected, now it's loose, we're going to take this, bring this up, swivel it around a little bit, bring it past all the stuff, swivel it back the other way, and then we're going to take this double joint and put it back to where it was, basically. Come around to the other side. We're going to yank on this panel here to bring it down. Smush this guy up past the rubber tire. Fold that away. Bring this whole thing in. Oh, before we do that, we want to take this blue panel and fold that in. Pull that in. Fold that panel down. Get all this open. Fold this panel down, bring the toe up. I'll slide this out on this double joint, bring the toe up, fold this down there. This whole thing is on that sliding pin that goes up. You can then close this all the way. Close this all the way. You want to bring up the butt flap like so. Well, actually, what you really want to do is you want to kind of tuck it down underneath these panels here, but then it's going to lay flush against the back of the thighs. There are two little tabs here on the back part of his butt plate, and then there's little slots on his thighs. Those tabs are going to go into those thighs, and that's your main thing keeping the legs together. There's a tab here, but it doesn't hold anything. It literally just does not hold anything. It's a worthless tab. There's also a tab here between these two toe hitch sections, and like it kind of works, but like not really. And that's the story of its life. And then what we want to do here is we want to make sure that these panels are squeezed in, because there's a tab right here that's going to fit into a slot right back behind there. Maybe you can see it better on this side. A little slot. It's just hiding back behind that smokestack. And so you need to get this to come under the smokestack, but up into that tab, and it's not easy, guys. It's really not easy. Holy shit. It just went right in. Okay, it's not easy, guys. Oh man, it's just so not easy. Holy smokes, is that the strategy? Just say that it sucks and then it works great. That tab fits into the slot on the outside of his thigh. And we'll do the same for the other side. The same for the other side. Yes. There we go. Give it all a nice little squeeze. Make sure his mirrors are out. And there you go. He is as into his alt mode as he's going to get. I have some issues getting this tab right here, these tabs on his thighs, to stay in all the way. Something has got to be like ever so slightly out of alignment, which is very possible. But yeah, there he is in his the vehicle mode, and again, it's a very nice looking vehicle mode. It holds together fairly solidly, aside from this tab here that I can't seem to get to want to stay, and then this tab here that I can't seem to want to get to stay. But like, they're cosmetic. If you don't touch it, it looks fine. It looks great. It looks actually really wonderful. Very, very little use of paint on this entire figure. The only paint that's on this whole figure is like this gray coming around here, because that's on clear plastic. And then you've got some red that's on, I think that's on the clear plastic. Yeah. So this red that's on the clear plastic, and then the blue for the window. That's it. That's the only paint on the entire figure. And I like that. I think that's cool. To like actually like color separate out the parts. Like even these like little yellow doohickeys, those are color separated, and I think that's cool. But like, this figure is too complex for its size, or rather it's too small for its complexity. If they had made it bigger, or if they made it simpler, it would have been a better figure. I like what they did, but they could have done better. But that's all I have to say about that. No storage for any of his accessories, but it's all right. I got your storage right here. But anyhow, everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody, stay awesome and be good. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, this guy rolls like a champ. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya. Bye.